and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Today's matchup should be interesting. The Bears are #1 in third down percentage, and they'll be up against the Lions team looking to shut that down.
First opened way back in 1924, but renovated in 2002. There's a look inside venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Detroit Lions and the Chicago Bears. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. First carry now for Kendon Dixon. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And ready now for 2nd and 9. Now the first carry for LaShawn McCoy. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It'll be a loss of a yard. Back to throw here. Ebron with it over the middle. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Now a first down carry here for McCoy. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. On play action, they'll throw. Trying to lay one up deep. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
So incomplete on 2nd down. Now they'll look to convert here on 3rd. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped. But I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
They'll set up a throw. Looking deep downfield. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. This is fielded at the 7. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Bears take over. first carry now for Jordan Howard. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. Pretty much unreal, not just in terms of yardage, Charles, but also throw in the 3 touchdowns as well.
When you put the whole package together, I can make you a pretty good guarantee right now. He's going to see a few more people in the box every time he lines up.
Yeah, I don't think that the defense has any choice. They've got to stop him. Can't let a repeat performance like that.
Agreed.
And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
Now, I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
Trubisky, draw play, gives to Howard. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. For a lot of people, the MVP award means the quarterback award usually, but over 100 yards again last week. You're going to have to look his way more than once when giving out this award this season, I think.
Yeah, it's not just the consistency. There's been some plays that we've...
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Lions offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right? Out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
Even with that broken tackle, can't go very far. Stop short of the 30. Just a couple on the ground there. That's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you've got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you can.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. DeForest Buckner in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. They said there was a lot of discussion in their defensive team meeting room after last week's performance. They had 7 sacks. Something in the water. There's one in the first quarter.
A lot of discussion, a lot of excitement, because now everyone wants to get involved with this. Who's going to continue that process? Who's going to get to the quarterback this week? But they have to be careful. When you have that much pressure, they want to use it against you. Draws, screens, those types of plays.
We'll see if they do that. The Lions on 3rd down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. He'll look to throw. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And heavy contact. He is knocked down hard. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
They'll begin the drive with Howard. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
While we know that the identity of this offense is to throw the ball, they've got to run it every so often, if for no other reason than to tamp down the pass rush. They can't let them just tee off and get to their quarterback.
They run play action for Howard. Now Trubisky. He's going to float this over the middle deep. This is caught at the 20. Touchdown, Chicago. A big play there with his 13th touchdown of the year and second of the game. And the Bears are able to show off their quick strike ability. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
So here come the Lions now as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you. I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Golden Tate, his intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. The Lions on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. They'll set up to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And he will be brought down, but he's got the interception on the final play of this first quarter. And a great spot to start this drive from here. On 1st down, they run with Howard. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for 2nd down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Now Howard. And down to the 36-yard line here. Able to pick up a yard, 7-yard gain, but a tough 3rd and 9 upcoming.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. On 3rd down, Trubisky. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Cohen. And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a 1st down. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Jordan Howard, an 18-yard touchdown run. And the Bears will add on to their lead.
Offensive line coaches always tell their guys, if we score touchdowns, that means we got to the end zone first. That's exactly what those blockers did, clearing the way for their back.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown one interception. He wants to balance that off with at least one touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Caught on the right side by Jones. Even with that broken tackle, can't go very far. Stops short of the 30. The Lions on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Now back to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and that just continued there with that incompletion.
And definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
He's going to field this at the 4. Might have been one man away from 6 points as it's... And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total. This is Howard on 2nd down. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 3rd down.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a neck.
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. O.J. Howard, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bears will extend their lead.
The big fella was the recipient there for that touchdown pass, and it seems like more and more the tight end is the guy you have to worry about most in the passing game.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it. His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run.
And McCoy loses the football, and this is picked up by the Bears. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Here we go.
Again, it's Howard. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 13 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup. And guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Soldier Field following this short break. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
So when you call a corner blitz, what a lot of teams call a cat blitz, you're expected to come after the quarterback, but in this case, he ran into the ball carrier. Really nice technique, because what you do is you come deep as the deepest offensive player, so he can't get outside of you.
It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave him with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. He's got his man on the crossing route. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
That's fielded in the end zone. A little juke. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They go with Howard again. And that is what you call a hit stick. Put down to the ground hard. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
They'll try to run for it with Howard. They find some open field here. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. Past the 20. And he makes it all the way down to the 13-yard line. A big play there for the Bears on 3rd. 59 yards on the ground.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
He just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
They try again with Cohen. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Give him 8 yards on the carry, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter three.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back from the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. He was looking for Cooper Kupp there. And that takes us from second to third down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know when you're at the end spot, you are like in the starting blocks, waiting for the pistol to fire and go, and he jumped a little bit too early.
The Lions on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. He'll drop to throw. He's got the first down and more past the 40. And he's going to be out of bounds at the 39. They get 14 yards there at a first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot. And they connected there and picked up a first down.
Here we go.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Open man right side is Kupp, complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Back to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Probably a little bit of a surprise call there on 3rd and inches that they decided to throw the football. And how difficult is that for an offensive line when they look up and see all those extra bodies coming at them?
Tons of bodies coming in. They get a huge sack there. So just a 3-yard return following a punt of 45. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. Jordan Howard and the Bears offense making their way back out there. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably got some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially, no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Well, he was stopped on that play. We've had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Now it's Trubisky. They'll roll him out right. And he's got a man. It's the tight end, Howard, complete. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. That one goes for 24 yards.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Room to run past midfield. There he goes right side. It's a big-time play there for the Bears. 56 yards. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, it makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
They'll need to get the play off quickly. Back now at Soldier Field. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. On first and goal, Howard. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5.
I know he might be a little winded after that previous long run, but now you're in goal-to-goal situation. That changes what you do defensively, and it worked for them on that play.
Maybe trying to reward him after that long run. We'll see if they go back to him again on the ground. They run with Howard. Call it no gain that time, and now it's third and goal. So stuff for no gain on second down brings up a pretty interesting third from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let them know right away I'm throwing it, but I'm probably giving my quarterback some room, sprint him out to one side or the other, and give him an opportunity. If it breaks down, he can take off and run for it.
And now what the heck is this? A punt formation from the red zone? And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Akeem Hicks in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Well, there was second and long. Now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feed down complete. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
The Bears offense making their way out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the NFC. And you can see it's no race for the top spot. That's been decided. These guys will hope to get through Week 17 in one piece before they host a division round game in 2 weeks' time.
And I think that what they'll do is they'll be very selective about who plays in this game. All right, there's certain guys that maybe are starters, but maybe haven't played as much as other guys during the year. Maybe they still need their timing back. Other guys, you're going to put in bubble wrap and put them on the sidelines and tell them we'll see you in 2 weeks.
And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. It's a 7-yard pickup. They'll be looking now to 3rd and 6.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. But they convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
A pretty decent gain on the tough run before he's brought down at the 25. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, it's almost a tendency breaker.
Running with Howard, and not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. Time for a break. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down.
Not your conventional play call, but that's okay. You probe the defense a little bit with some of everything in your playbook. That way they have to account for everything as the game moves on.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. And Detroit getting set to go now. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other."
Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Leonard Floyd in there for sack number 22 on the year. Just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22.5 set in 2001. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Now in desperation. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be knocked down sideways. A big play there for Detroit. 45 yards. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Leonard Floyd able to drop him for a loss of 4.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. They'll drop the throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. So that'll be marked down as a 19-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Well, they'll take that every time with a lead, first down, 4th quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back, but 8 yards on first down puts them
stuck in my worldly ways. Propaganda, press, pan the camera, please don't.